Okay, everyone, the wait is over. Time for my next journal review. And this one is going to be, of course, Dragon Ball Z Season 2. Now, in this season, we're introduced to the most cunning, ruthless, cruel, vile, and just all around the biggest baddie in all of Dragon Ball Z history. Now, who is this villain of all villains, you may ask? Well, it's none other than Frieza. Yep, Frieza. The one who we find out is responsible for the destruction of the sane home world, planet Vegeta. Man, that Frieza. He's just one of the most ruthless, diabolical villains in all Dragon Ball Z history. I mean, yes, some people say that Cell was the more ruthless villain, or Majin Buu was the more cunning villain, or something like that. I mean, even the baddies from the filler movies were actually, well, ruthless. I mean, I don't know if you consider Broly a villain. I mean, in all honesty, I think his father was the main villain, not Broly. I mean, yeah, Broly came back in other movies and stuff like that, but still, he wasn't the bad guy at first. It was his father who was the bad guy. And then, of course, Broly then became the villain, but still. In the first Broly movie, it was his father that was the main villain, not Broly himself. Okay, let's just get that away right now. Okay, thank you. But still, Frieza, he's just all around evil. And of course, so are his henchmen. People like Kui, Zarbon, Dodoria, and of course, the Ginyu Force. I mean, I only rhyme out of that. But still, even though the Ginyu Force are pretty terrifying, it's Frieza who's the most ruthless and cunning out of all the Dragon Ball Z villains. Yeah. I mean, seriously. Come on. He's just so diabolical it hurts. I mean, yeah, I know there was that one season where Garlic Jr. came back, but that was just pretty much a filler season. And then, of course, there was a season after that, which Frieza came back, except he was made up of all these weird random machine parts, so I guess we could call him Mecha Frieza for all I care. But still, Frieza's just so ruthless, mean, evil, diabolical, and cunning. He's just one of the most toughest baddies that Z Fighters have ever came across. Well, until the androids and Cell, but still, Frieza was the baddest of them all. And of course, like I said, there was the Ginyu Force. 5 meanies who had their own special unique powers, except for Jacen Birder. But still, Captain Ginyu had the best power of them all, and probably one of the most scariest too. And that power was that he could switch bodies with pretty much anyone he wanted to. And of course, he mainly did that to Goku when they were fighting. But of course, in the end, Goku got back in his body, but of course it was pretty beat up, so he had to get put in a healing tank for pretty much the rest of the time. But thankfully he recovered enough. But wait a minute, that was Season 3. I'm supposed to talk about Season 2, aren't I? So, well, who cares? Not me. But still, Season 2 of Dragon Ball Z was pretty good. It wasn't, well, bad at all. It was just great. Vegeta, of course, came back into the picture, and of course, he even made some alliance with the remaining Z fighters that were there, which of course were Krillin and Gohan, so there you go. And of course, we finally got to the good old planet Namek, where there's absolutely no way to distinguish one Namek from the other in any way, shape, or form. Well, except, of course, there is Guru, the creator of the Namekian Dragon Balls, who just sits in his chair, has his eyes closed, and doesn't move a muscle. Well, actually, technically he does. He moves his hands and, of course, his mouth to talk to people. Well, mainly his guardian Nail, but other than that, he just sits around and does absolutely nothing useful at all whatsoever. Well, besides unlocking the character's hidden potential, but that's just pretty much it. Other than that, he just sits around and does absolutely nothing relevant to anything that's going on in the entire season at all. It's just a waste. But of course, he has some good at making characters, like Nail, for example, who is just pretty much Guru's, well, for lack of a better term, guardian. Let's just put it at that. And then, of course, there's Dende, who later on becomes the guardian of the Earth after Piccolo fuses with Kami, which actually does happen later on in the series, but, well, who cares, not me. But still, Dende is actually not that bad of a character. He's smart, resourceful, and actually helps Krillin and Gohan and Bulma out, well, and Vegeta out, but again, that's in a later season. But still, he's a really nice character, too. And of course, he's a curious little Namekian, too, wondering why Krillin and Gohan are there, and eventually deciding to help them out, which is good. And of course, like I said, there are Frieza's henchmen. There's the Ginyu Force, Kui, Zarbon, and Dodoria. Each of them meet their ends in very unique ways. Kui gets destroyed by Vegeta, Zarbon gets destroyed by Vegeta, Dodoria gets destroyed by Vegeta. Is it just me, or do most of these minions get destroyed by Vegeta? But of course, the Ginyu Force actually does meet its end in various ways. Goldo, the one who could stop time, is, well, destroyed by Vegeta. And then there's Burter and Geese. Burter gets destroyed by Goku. Geese, well, he eventually meets his end via Vegeta. Not sure exactly what happened to Captain Ginyu, but I'm pretty sure he got destroyed somehow. I'm not exactly sure about that, but well, who cares, not me. And then there was, of course, Rakum, who also met his end via Goku. Now, I do have to admit, of all the people in the Ginyu Force, sorry, I was about to say Z Fighters, but I meant to say Ginyu Force. So, of all the people in Ginyu Force, Rakum was definitely the hardest of them all to beat. Well, until he had to fight against Captain Ginyu, who didn't watch the fight, he just went off to take the Dragon Balls to Lord Frieza so that way he could try to summon the Dragon Wish for his immortality, but sadly, he couldn't. You wanna know why? Because he had to speak Namekian, that's why. I mean, seriously, it makes sense. Like, for Dragon Balls on Earth. What language do you have to speak to summon the Dragon on Earth? Earth language, which would, in this case, would be English. And of course, on the Namekian side, if you want to summon the Dragon on planet via the Namekian Dragon Balls, what language do you have to speak to summon it? To summon the dragon? Namekian! It makes perfect sense! But unfortunately, that's something that, well, that we get into later on in the season. But, well, who cares, not me. But so overall, Season 2 of Dragon Ball Z is actually a much better season than the first. Considering the fact that A, we get to Namek, B, we're introduced to more characters, most of them die, but some of them live. And of course, well, Vegeta decides that instead of being a bad guy, he's going to be a good guy for some reason. I'm not sure why. But, oh well. At least, oh well, who cares, not me. At least this time, he's not obsessed with becoming immortal. He's more obsessed with getting Frieza out of the way than he is becoming immortal. But since Frieza's the most strongest person on the planet, he would have to be immortal so that way he could kick Frieza's ass. And not die in the process. So, there you go. But still, it was also nice to find out that it was Frieza, not an asteroid or a meteor shower, whatever it was, that destroyed planet Vegeta. That was, in fact, the evil diabolical villain known as Frieza. Also has the ability to transform, too. Let's not forget about that. But, of course, that actually happened in Season 3, so there you go. But still, Season 2 Dragon Ball Z, really great. I love it. Much better season than the first. And just all around non-stop action, some comedy, and a whole lot of, well, I guess there's not a whole lot of drama. But hey, at least we find out that Piccolo, Yamcha, Tien, and Chiaotzu are going to be training on King Kai's planet. So that's a good thing, I guess. I mean, only one of them gets revived by the Namekian Dragon Balls in the end, so... But that's for Season 3. Which I don't have, but don't worry. As soon as I get it, I will review it. So, ha 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 ha. But until then, as for a TV show, I'll be doing a general review next. Well, at least a season of a TV show I'll be doing a general review next. I'm still thinking of whether I should do Season 1 of True Blood, Season 1 of Saturday Night Live, or Season 1 of Stargate SG-1. But still, no matter what I do next, just remember that I will be doing a general review of Season 3 of Dragon Ball Z sometime in the near future. I don't know when, but, well, I just don't know when. So that's pretty much all I have to say. I mean, I could put Season 3 off until I actually get it, which would actually make a lot more sense. So there you go. So, what will I be doing next? A random review? Maybe a review about a certain book series I like? You just never know with me, don't. You just never know with me, don't ya? But still, all that's left to say is that Season 2 Dragon Ball Z is better than Season 1. I mean, because it had more villains, had more henchmen that got easily destroyed, and of course, we got introduced to some green people that, well, have never heard of females before, and, well, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. So, that's pretty much it for now. I don't know what I'll be doing next. I don't know when I'll be doing it next. But you just never know with me, do ya? But still, that's pretty much all I have to say for now. Talk to you guys later whenever I decide to do, well, whatever I'll be reviewing. But still, just know that I'm pretty much a reviewing type person. Well, talk to you guys later. Bye.